Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Welcome to Professionalism in podcast version.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for helping me out with this. Really exciting. So this is our first and only podcast.
Could be. There could be more. Depends how this one goes. We'll see.
All right. So first things first, I wanted to start off with an icebreaker, as we do. So I brought us some paper.
Okay.
This is for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is for me. And I even brought us coloring pencils.
Oh, perfect. I get to show you my art skills too.
And pencils if you need one.
Awesome.
So, what I wanted us to do before we started was to just draw our day as a landscape. Like your typical day here, as a landscape. So I'm going to draw my typical day at college because, that's my typical day.
Yep.
All right, so I'm just going to let us do that,
Okay. Just your phone is recording audio too, right?
No, it is not.
Just as a backup, just in case.
There we go. Now
All right, perfect. Okay, so my day. Wow, so much happens in a day, Like
I
it's
know.
like, oh boy.
All right, I'll go first and just share really quickly what I did. So here I have a desert. And in the middle of the desert is my computer because all I do is take notes and study and do assignments. I also do a Tim's cup floating in the abyss because that's what fuels me is coffee. And then my family, I see them every day. And then my cat. So my life right now is pretty boring, but it will eventually become more full, I think.
Yeah, for sure, especially as you progress in school.
Yeah.
What I like about your picture, especially, Sequoia, is you made it in the desert. Obviously, you weren't in a desert today, but that is symbolic of where you're at and where you're feeling. And similar to the desert, my picture, despite today being a rainy day, I drew a sun and a bunch of kids playing in the sunshine, even though today was not a sunny day by any means, but working in an elementary school and being around children all day, you just can't help but remember the innocence of being a child. And just a lot of that looked like just like playing outside and having fun and just essentially being a kid, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of how I view the children. It's just like, they're kids and they need to be able to play. And, as much as we're here to educate them, we want them to feel like they're in a safe place where they can have fun and be kids.
Yeah.
So even though it wasn't a sunny day, the symbolism of how I feel about supporting them is that they're all enjoying their day together, right?
That's fantastic. It's so nice to hear people who are like, this makes me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. That was our icebreaker.
Thank you for that. We're on the same page here. Even though, it wasn't sunny and we weren't in the desert today, we're thinking about the bigger picture,
And those are so fun to do because especially with drawing, it's like you can interpret it in so many different ways, right? So it's always great. I love drawing icebreakers.
For sure.
All right, the boring questions.
Let's get at it.
What is your name?
My name is Brandon Antonioni.
What?
I am Italian, that's right.
Wow. That's really cool. I like your last name quite a bit.
Thank you.
Okay, the name and location in which you work.
Okay, so I work at St. David Elementary in Sudbury, Ontario.
Would you believe it? We're there right now.
In my office.
Yep.
And it's beautiful.
It is. I really like this. I was going to say, I really, this one speaks to me.
It's a vision board. It's, everything is just kind of symbolic of different things. It's like never giving up.
Yeah.
If he had just dug a little bit longer, he would have got to the diamonds.
Yeah. This is awesome. I love this. Oh, that one's really cool too.
Yeah, I especially like the media ones because a lot of our kids are, so absorbed in phones and TikTok and Reels, and it's almost like they're glued to it, right? Hence why I have this one here with the phone that is actually chain linked to the wrist because it's almost like it's become an attachment of our beings, right? It's like the second, like even I'm guilty of this. When my phone's not on me, I'm like, where's my phone? So we need to remember that we have to think as individuals first and not let other things become our thoughts, right? We have to think for our own selves. And that's kind of what this vision board kind of is symbolic of, especially this one too, where he's replacing the the brain with the phone. It's like, no, we kind of want to reverse that. We want to keep the brain in our head
Yeah, I know.
and the phone second.
Especially with, oh my gosh, I was thinking about this today. I was like, AI, I feel like I'm even losing like
Oh, I
my
know.
critical,
I
like,
know.
I'm like, oh my gosh, where's my media literacy?
Well, I'm glad we're doing this because we're all guilty of that. And it's nice to have free thought and be able to think on your own, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there'll be no AI in this interview. It'll just be us talking from experience.
Yes, all right. Okay, well, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the meat and the potatoes. So the first question that I have for you is, how long have you been in this field?
So I've been helping people since 2009, but I've been working for Sudbury Catholic Schools since 2014. So I've been doing the EA job for now probably 11 years. But it's always kind of been in my nature to want to help people. My mom was a nurse for a very long time when I was growing up. And when I started working in the field per se, I actually started at a nursing home.
Okay.
And it's very sentimental for me to think back to when I did that job, because there were a lot of people who were dependent on my care. And believe it or not, Sequoia, I was only kitchen staff. I only worked in the kitchen, but it was more than that. Like, I was there with the elders, I was supporting them, getting to know them on a deeper level. And then that really kind of paved the way for me to want to help people. And this made my mom very proud because I was kind of following her, in her footsteps, right?
Yeah.
So branching out from the nursing home, I ended up working for Sudbury Developmental Services. Through the DSW program, I got a job in the group homes. And again, it was more nursing care. It was me giving pills, doing all their regular routines. But the best part was bringing them into the community. That really like solidified my, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to give back.
Yeah.
This is exactly where I need to be. So, I did a lot of cool stuff. Like, I got people with disabilities to come to Wolves games with me. I brought one of our residents to a Toby Keith concert.
Oh my gosh.
I drove him. I'm not an Ottawa Senators fan by any means, so, but I brought one of our clients all the way to Ottawa to watch a Sens game. Like, it was this kind of stuff that was like, okay, this is what I love.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. And then if 2 jobs wasn't enough, I added a third one onto the mix. I applied to the school board because my dad was a teacher, and I figured, I'm here now. I'm graduated.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to move away from the other 2 jobs and focus on my career goal. And I've been here ever since. So it's still helping people to this day.
That's incredible. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words almost, because we learn so much about how everything growing up affects our development. And then you see, like, you're talking about, okay, my mom was a nurse, I helped in the nursing home. Like, you probably had, like, stories from her, like, coming home and talking about her patients, And then on the other hand of it, you had your dad, who was a teacher, who was working, with youth. And, like, it's funny that it kind of ended up culminating into this.
I found that middle ground.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. It kind of took both of them and turned it into you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly. Actually, someone at that nursing home told me a long time ago, you're always where you need to be. And even if it doesn't feel like it, you are where you need to be in life. It might be hard. You might have some difficulties or some challenges, but you will learn from that ultimately, and it'll bring you to a better, more elevated place where you are supposed to be. So yeah, I found my place.
That's awesome, yeah. I think that a lot of people in this field, like in the field of just like community-centered care and helping, we kind of all have similar story in that way, where there was somebody who really impacted us, and then it led us down this path.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that kind of answers my second question, but your positions and previous positions.
Oh yeah, no, it all I started as a dishwasher at a nursing home, and everything just elevated from there.
Yeah.
It just became this need to give back, and that is some of the most fulfilling, most gratifying work and motivation that I've ever had in my life. So I think if it wasn't for my mom paving the way for me to feel that, I don't know what else I'd be doing, right? Because she really, they just wanted me to be a good guy, you know?
Yeah, that's so important. All right. So, where did you graduate and where did you graduate from and what program did you
Good
take?
afternoon, everyone. Just a quick reminder.
That's her
Anybody want
mom.
to stick around for parent council? Everyone is welcome. We will be starting at 4 o'clock in the staff room. Thank you.
Like I said earlier, we are in an elementary school right now. So, yeah.
4 o'clock, be there. Don't be late. They have cookies.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, where did you graduate from? What program did you take?
I took DSW, Developmental Service Worker, and that was the best program for me at the time. Would highly recommend. I know you yourself, you're in CYW,
Yeah.
but it's all under the same umbrella, right?
Yeah.
We're all still serving the same purpose. I worked with developmental needs, and that's what I kind of wanted to get into. I had worked with elderly people. I had worked with, I was starting to work with disabled people, but then I really wanted to start focusing more on working with children. Kids like me, you know, I have ADHD. I had my own issues growing up, and I said, well, I want to help kids the way that I got help as a child, and DSW was the perfect program for me. And the placements, just being thrown into the mix, working with some of these people with disabilities, were like really inspiring. I think a lot of us, like, I don't want to say normal people, but just people can learn from people with disabilities, the playfulness, the joy, the innocence, the fun. You got to remember, it doesn't matter where you work, you still have to enjoy what you do, and you have to make it fun. You have to find the enjoyment. And when I was on these placements working with people who have disabilities, it was like fun for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I worked at Jared Value, and I know a lot of people watching this aren't going to know what that is, but do you know Value Village?
Yes.
So it's a Value Village type business, but it's run by people with developmental disabilities.
Okay.
They work the shop, they sort through all the items, they put things on the shelves, and they all work very cohesively.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun environment. And they were training me on how to do the job. So they have a manager that oversees everything, but ultimately they're calling the shots. And I just was like, this is so cool. Like, this is just one of those places. It's like, had I not taken this program, I wouldn't have ever have known that this business was run by people with developmental disabilities. And it was just like cool to be a part of that, you know?
Yeah, and I think also, especially like along that same note, so cool that there's a place that like society has been like, hey, you know, normally a lot of the time society pushes people, neurodivergent people, whatever, you know, to the side, and you know, you don't really think about it too often, or they don't think about it, or they don't acknowledge it. But creating a place that is specifically run, not managed, but run and worked and like gives them purpose. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of the time, just as humans, that's all we're looking for is purpose. So that's amazing. That's really cool. I didn't even know that existed.
It's what drives us all, right? Everyone's got to have a reason to want to put their feet on the floor in the morning and go and do something.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. All right. So what led? Well, we kind of already answered all these questions. Yeah. Well, what led you to become a DSW?
So ultimately, I had I don't want to say deficiencies, but I had like my own issues as a child.
Yeah.
So I myself have ADHD, and I learned that a disability does not define you. It just defines your strengths in different ways. So for me, I realized that there was a lot of other things I was really good at. Math was never my strong suit, and you know, literacy I was a little bit better at. But applying myself in terms of like reading and writing was always a bit of a struggle. The knowledge was up here, but it was just so hard to get it out.
Yep.
You know, and it took really good teachers and a patient mother and just a lot of different avenues of life to kind of help me express myself and get to where I needed to be. So ultimately, the purpose, going back to purpose, was what's going to drive me to want to pursue this career. It was ultimately the people that helped guide me make me want to be follow in those footsteps. If I can come to work and I can help kids that are struggling and give them, you know, a reason to want to learn and feel confident and make a difference, then that's ultimately why I'm here, right?
Yeah. I totally relate with the ADHD and like the struggling in school. I went to St. David's as a child. And one of the people who really changed my life then was actually Miss Dory.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She's so cool.
She is so cool. But then I went to high school and I didn't have that support.
Right.
And that was kind of like where we use these terms a lot, level 1 versus a level 4 kind of interaction with a student or a client. And I went from being almost like a level 3, level 4 to back down to level 1.
Yeah.
And so it's so crazy how like those positive interactions can really affect a child's learning. And like you're going back to what you were saying about like it just being so rewarding and fulfilling that, like filling your cup almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely, like being a person with a learning disability or whatever you may call it, it makes a really big difference going in there and seeing yourself make a change in somebody that you can almost see yourself in.
Exactly, and it's like that old saying, like, takes one to know one. Like, I learned because people were patient with me. I had a very good history teacher in high school who stayed with me after the exam to help me get through it. And I was like, man, that was really cool, you know? Because, like, I was, like, dead in the water. I was like, I can't apply the knowledge. Like, I have it all up here, but, like, I need that avenue. I need someone who's going to sit and listen and be patient.
Yeah.
So that's what I think ultimately a lot of our students need. And in today's world, it can be especially needed to have those supports because it's different out there nowadays. Kids are more distracted. There's more mental health. There's a lot of things that, like, people could use a lot of help with. And that's ultimately why we choose these careers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic answer. All right. So question number 5. If you could talk to a younger version of yourself before you were in the field,
Okay.
what advice would you give?
Go to bed earlier. Be patient. Don't let other people's opinions affect you. Rest is something we take for granted. Go to bed at night, you know, and even now, like, if I'm not fully rested for my day, it can hinder my abilities in some regard. And like when you're in college or university, like these are the things you have to remember. If you care about your career and you want to be successful, please make the time to look after yourself, right? So these are things we can't neglect and we should not take for granted. The other thing too is be patient, you know, be patient with yourself and give yourself time to naturally get better at things. No one is going to be good at anything right away.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes practice, it takes effort, especially when you're young and you're navigating your life. And then again, growing up in this day and age for these kids with social media, like it's so easy to get down on what other people think or what you see, right?
Yeah.
But you got to hold on to this. You have to hold on to your own brain and your own thoughts and be strong in your own skin.
Yeah.
So, and I think there were times where I would let other people's opinions affect me. And I know you said before, but even in the field, you know, with working with ASD kids especially, you have to remember that one strategy for one kid won't work for another kid. And that's no reason to get down on yourself. You just have to reassess and reevaluate. It's the same in life. You need to take time to reassemble your thoughts and take time to revamp as needed. You know, so I think I could have been a little more patient, could have been showing myself a little more self-love, and just kind of made more time to rest and, you know, try and be a little more charged. Because again, in college, you get caught up with your friends and just it's a different time, you know.
Yeah.
So it's you get caught up in things that maybe aren't as important or feel like the world is crashing beneath your fingertips when really it doesn't mean as much as the latter half of your life.
Yeah.
You know, same with high school, same with elementary school. As you get through life, there's other problems you face and you go, what the heck was I so worried about? That was nothing, you know?
Yeah, I even like reflect on that like for 2 weeks ago. I'm like, why was I so stressed about that?
Right? You probably don't even remember what it is now.
No, exactly. That's great advice. Even for, honestly, I put that question in for myself. Mostly. I was like, what's he gonna tell me? What can I take, you know, from this? Okay, so what guiding principles have shaped your practice? I listed some, just like some words. So empathy, advocacy, safety, dignity. You don't have to use those words. Those are just.
I'm gonna go with empathy.
Okay.
My mom is an empathetic person, helped me with my struggles and kind of paved the way for me to care for others. So yeah, I think I got some of the most satisfaction out of life through being an empathetic person, caring for others, and I think ultimately making a difference helped give me that gratification and want and purpose to continue and just make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
So I think that really helped shape me in a lot of ways. I'm going to have to say empathy. And then what were some of the other ones?
I also said advocacy, safety, and dignity.
Yeah, advocacy as well, just because I think, especially when I was growing up, you could have been labeled as the dumb kid, for better lack of words, having not the same learning abilities. But what people fail to understand is you're just smart in a different way, right? You're not defined by your disability. It just, it defines your abilities in other ways.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do advocate for those children that, maybe we don't think are going to be successful or people, not that we think, but like would get labeled as that child wouldn't be successful or he doesn't know, he's not smart.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to have that kind of mentality towards people that learn differently, right?
Yeah. And I think another thing too is like, especially in our roles, or the role that I will soon be in one day, it's really hard coming into the school sometimes and maybe you might be the only person advocating for the child, So I think that kind of goes back to, like you said, being patient and remembering like your opinion of yourself is what matters. So yeah, awesome. Okay, so what are some what are some philosophies that you learned in school that helped you today?
Some of the philosophies I've learned, I know in my DSW program, we always said, when you've met one child with autism, you've met one child with autism. And that's because no two children are the same, and kids with autism, there's such a spectrum of autism that one strategy might work for one, won't work for another, right?
Yeah.
So there are universal things we'll use, like PEX boards, like cue cards, to kind of symbolize what's going to happen next and give them some sort of understanding. But that's not going to work for every kid, right? Every strategy, every kid, it's going to require, it's not what's that saying, one size fits all?
Yeah.
It's not. And that's something you have to remember when you go into these rooms and work with these children, is you will have to reassess, you will have to reevaluate. And that's just going to become a common thing in your career, is you're going to have to always kind of adjust as time goes on, right?
Yeah.
The other thing too is just with disability, like I keep mentioning, it just shows your strengths in other ways. Yeah. I'm not the best at math, but I'm really good at video editing, and I'm really good with people, and I have other strengths, right? And we all do. We all have different abilities, and we can all approach things in different ways, and we can learn from one another.
Yeah.
So these are definitely philosophies I've not only learned from my program, but have also I've carried with me within my field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I think that, like, for me, because I haven't went on to my placement yet, there's a lot of things that we're learning in class, a lot of theory, a lot of, about these are the, theorists and whatever. And all of that stuff is really, really good and important, but I'm really interested to see how it's going to apply when I get into the field.
It's kind of like this, Sequoia. It's like, you can learn about cars, but until you drive the car, you're not going to know, right?
Yeah.
So have that car knowledge in the back of your head, but you might get thrown into a field or a classroom or meet a student or end up with a team that you're not sure how to interact with right away, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Awesome. So the other one, I put this one in because I think that this is really important to everything that we do working with kids.
Yeah.
So what role do you believe resiliency plays in a children's development?
The ability to adapt.
Yeah.
You have to adapt. You have to be strong. You have to be tough. You have to know when to, stand up for yourself and show yourself some love. It's like you said, Miss Dory was there for you, right? She helped you.
Yeah.
But as you progress through life, you have fewer supports. You have less help.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of getting older and growing up. Is it's not always going to be easy. People aren't always going to hold your hand, And that's why we need to know when to be strong and to stick up for ourselves, because like my dad's passed away now, but when that happened as a child, it was difficult. But I'll always thank him for putting me in hockey, because I was very persistent growing up, and I was very competitive.
Yeah.
And I think through physical activity, I think there needs to be more emphasis on physical activity, because that is where you develop your leaders, your compassion, and your persistence, wanting to achieve a goal. So we need to learn to be more adaptive, and we can't let the social media world control our minds and our thoughts.
Yeah.
We need to be strong when the time calls for it. And yeah, we need to be persistent. We have to work hard, because it doesn't get any easier.
And a really cool thing, like you mentioned sports, and we talk about groups and the positives of groups, and sports and physical activity is just such a good thing for the youth.
It's a motivator.
Yeah, but it doesn't just motivate your physical, it motivates your mental too, which is really, really cool.
Well, you learn how to be a leader.
Yeah.
You learn how to learn a skill. You learn how to teach others how to do that skill.
Yeah.
You learn compassion through sportsmanship. And it's very important that we have those outlets. So to be adaptive and to be strong, I think for the youth, it's very essential that they have adequate physical opportunity to participate in things like sports or clubs or even art. Whatever is your thing, go do it, because it will help develop skills that will carry you on through life. You know what I mean? If we don't have skills, if we don't have something to fall back on, we're not really focused, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs something that's helpful and healthy, and if it benefits your body physically, great. If not, at least you still have it, right? Like art, for instance.
Yeah.
You know?
So what would you say, this is not on my thing, so what do you do now that is beneficial to like those things that you were talking about?
I'm a bit of a hobbyist. I do a lot of things. I'm a master at none, but I do a lot.
Okay.
So I do a lot of video editing.
Yeah.
So I'm really into, and I'll produce and make like content like crazy. Like I do anything from travel videos to music videos to educational videos. I've done the Christmas concert here for the last like 4 or 5 years.
I think it's is it on the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Go check out the YouTube channel, St. David's.
Super St. David, and then my personal one, Brandon Antonioni. So yeah, like I just love creating content. It's such a outlet for me because I've always wanted to be a musician. So I'm not truly a musician, but I mess around a lot with covers and the artistic side. I love making videos. So I'll find a funny or popular song, I'll cover it, I'll make a music video for it, and then I'll get all my friends involved and I'll make it like a huge production, and it's for like, I don't know, like 100 views, and I don't care because it's like my outlet.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes they take off. Sometimes I'll get like, I think my most is like 4,000 views on a music video I shot for free on a cell phone. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. I'm down.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then the other one for me is jiu-jitsu.
Okay, cool.
I've been doing martial arts on and off all throughout high school. But for me now, it's just such an outlet, like especially in this field where some days are hard and other days you start to, you get down on yourself, like, why wasn't I better? Or why do I feel like this today? And then you go and blow off that steam, and then again, you're learning a craft, and you're also teaching people. Like I've been doing this for 6 years. So like, so there's like a belt ranking system. There's like white, blue, purple, brown, black. And like I'm a blue belt now and have been now for 2 years. So as I inch closer towards purple, I'm like, wow, like I actually have been doing this a while now. So it's taught me a lot of resilience. And again, going back to that competitive, persistent nature, it's, your physicality against someone else's, and you're always trying to be really good and strong, and it's hard mentally and physically, but it's motivating. And at the end of the day, everyone's friends, and it's kind of cool. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it's cool. Like, people are really cool about it, so.
So back, like you were saying, like the motivation too, it's almost like, yes, you're fighting somebody else, but they're motivating you and you're motivating yourself to be
100%.
better every time.
It's the
right?
only environment where someone can like, I don't know if you want to add this or not, but like someone can choke you out and then you're like, hey man, that was really cool. Can you show me how you did that? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, well, what I did to choke you out is I put my arm here. Oh, here, let me try that on you. Like, it's the weirdest thing these guys do, and like girls too. I've had my butt kicked by numerous girls too. It's just a great thing to do. It's a great way to blow off steam. And it makes you stronger physically and mentally.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember that one time, it was like a after school program that I worked at, and it was a summer camp.
Yeah.
And every morning the kids did like jiu-jitsu in the gym, and they wanted us to join in, so I would join in because like I was like 19 at the time, so I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu. I'm really bad at it, so I didn't pursue it any further than that. But it was so cool how engaged they were, and like how it changed their attitude from like being like, oh, like it's the morning, I don't want to be here, to like, okay, we're here, we're ready to learn.
Yeah, there's quite a high turnover rate with kids that do it because it is hard.
Yeah.
And but that's what's good about it. If the kids who do it stick with it, they're only going to get better. It's only going to make them stronger mentally and physically. I think martial arts is one of the best disciplines somebody can have. And it's made me incredibly disciplined. I've literally starved myself for tournaments to like lose a set amount of weight. And I'm not a big guy, so like if I have to lose 10 pounds, like it's hard.
Yeah.
And I've actually had that discipline. I've carried that for like 5 months at a time, where I'm like prepping for like a 5-minute match. So, I mean, I don't expect children to do that, but eventually if you do something long enough, you're going to want to be the best at it, and you're going to keep working hard to get to your goals.
Yeah.
So it helps teach you discipline, which I think we're all guilty of in our lives, right? Sometimes we want that extra piece of pizza. Sometimes we want to scroll, like I'll scroll reels for way too long. Or, you know, like there's like that new Netflix series, like I don't care, I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Yep.
You know, so we're all guilty of that. Like but it's all about balance at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You have to have balance in your life, and you have to know when to be disciplined.
Yeah. Okay, I think that is this is our last question.
All right, cool.
I'm really, really excited about this one because I know that you have done some pretty cool stuff here. So describe a small group or program or intervention that you have run, and what were the outcomes?
Well, this Christmas concert thing is going on like 5 years now, and like it's pretty cool. Like, you know, these kids get an opportunity to be artsy and be on a green screen and have fun. So I'm proud of myself for giving them that opportunity.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work, but it's like kind of cool that, you know, these kids that would never see a green screen or a camera and get to act and, you know, have fun.
Yeah.
So I think drama is really cool that they get that opportunity. So I do that. This past year, I was actually a relay coach for the relay team.
Cool.
Having been a runner as a kid, I loved being a relay coach. Me and Mr. Allen had those kids running the parking lot every morning, practiced with them, you know, amped them up. So that was really cool, like to be a leader in that sense.
Yeah.
My early career, I had dodgeball leagues for kids, and I wish I could still run those to this day. But yeah, I had different names for the groups, and I even included a lot of the special ed kids. So they had a blast, you know, like people were giving me weird looks, like, you're going to include that kid? I'm like, why not? Give him a chance, you know?
Yeah.
Just see how it goes. So I did that. One of our teachers actually made the national news here for one of the videos I did with the hoverboards. Did you see that one?
Yes, that was super cool.
Yeah, Louis made the news because his parents called him like, Louis, like, yeah, your class is on the news. He's like, what? So yeah, Fox News picked it up, aired it, and then, so that was really awesome. So yeah, just giving kids a physical outlet and giving them like media opportunities to be on the YouTube channel, and like hearing them like, oh, there's a YouTube channel, like what's that, you know, how do I subscribe? And then they comment on the videos, and it's like, it's pretty positive, thank God. So yeah, it's pretty cool, like just doing that, like coming to St. David and like offering those other skills.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there in case my professors who are watching this don't know. So St. David's is located in the Donovan, so a lot of the students here don't have the chance to actually use a lot of this really, really expensive equipment. So I think that a lot of the time, giving children like items, like even when I worked at Science North, when you get to use a microscope, it's like that can, not everybody, a microscope is really, really expensive. So getting to use something or a tool that you don't normally have access to can create a whole like new interest, right? That they would have never even known about.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is so cool. Like, who knows? Half of these kids might like leave St. David's and be like, I'm going to be a YouTuber, or I'm going to be like a producer, or I'm going to be a screenwriter.
There was one girl, and I know this because I follow there's a business in town, an acting business, which I actually did acting courses with. It's called the Creative Loft. So I was doing commercials with the grade 6s, and I remember going on the Facebook page, and I was noticing some of our students were doing classes at the Creative Loft, and I'm wondering if that's because they went home and said to their parents, I want to do acting. I'm not taking credit for that. I'm just like putting that out in the world that like if you give kids an opportunity, they might just excel at it and go for it, right?
Yeah.
So give them any chance to find their niche, whether it's running or something acting wise. Like it's you want to give kids an opportunity, and they'll surpass you pretty quick. They'll go for it if they stick with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were talking about today too. Is like if you ever want to connect with a kid, play a game that you're not good at, and they are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they just are teaching you, and you suck, and you're trying to learn, and it really builds that connection.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Ta-da!
We're done.
That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I learned so much. Like all of this stuff, not only is it great for my assignment, but also it's going to help me a lot, you know, just throughout the next 2 years and being in placement, talking to somebody who is living it is so much different than reading it through a textbook.
Oh yeah, it'll always be that way. My mom said the same thing with nursing. She said she left nursing school and she was like, I felt like the worst nurse ever. Not that you feel that way, but it's like nothing prepared me for this.
Yeah.
You know, like every book I read, like you're dealing with human lives.
And like you said, no glove fits the same. Like, no, it's not one size fits all kind of thing. It's like, okay, we're looking at this theory and this is how kids develop, but Jimmy and Sally are totally two different people.
100% they are.
So.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, all kids like Minecraft, I'll say that much.
Yeah, I picked up on that one.
Oh yeah.
I picked up on that one.
And be a kid too, eh? Like don't be afraid to connect with them on that level. Like see, I'm kind of like a nerd, so like I know a lot about Pokemon and stuff, and like I'll never shy away from a conversation with a kid about that because that gives you an opportunity to pair, and that gives you a chance to like, okay, like, you know, as much as you're the adult, they want to know that like you're kind of like a trusted person that they can talk to, feel comfortable with, and they'll reflect on you and be like, that teacher was so cool. Yeah. That teacher knew all this stuff.
And then also it's like you're building that relationship so they can come back to you. And maybe you guys are just talking about Pokemon for like the 2 weeks, but like, you know, third week he comes back and he's like, hey, Mr. B, this happened and it was really kind of bad.
Right, exactly.
And then it's like now you guys have that relationship.
It opens up you a bit too to understand what the kid is like. Yeah. So you see how they think, how they react to things. So if something happens, you know how that kid is, right? Like, you're like, yeah, he told me this story. It's like, I don't know if he's always truthful or like you just kind of like pick up a sense. Yeah. But the bottom line is pairing. Just try and develop good rapport and just try and make sure that like students feel like they can trust you and are comfortable with you. And don't lose sight of your inner child. Like especially as like an adult. Like obviously you're an adult too. But like I don't know, like I'm 30 now and I still feel the same way as I did when I was, you know, like younger, but I just have more bills and like more responsibilities, you know? But it's like I still like all the same stuff. I'm still like goofy. But you know, like just don't lose touch with your inner child because life can bog you down as it gets more stressful and bills get bigger and things break down and you know, people get older. Like it can be hard, but don't lose touch with that inner child. That's very important. Yeah, this job keeps me young.
Yeah, for sure. Probably the jiu-jitsu too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it sure does.
Also, shout out Rob, one of my professors who also is in jiu-jitsu. Do you know him? Rob, I only call him Rob. I can't think of his last name. Oh my gosh.
Is he bald?
No, he has really red hair. No. He says if you want to deal with something, we got to bring it to the mat.
That's very true. Go blow off some steam. You'll feel great. You'll forget why you were upset in the first place. Seriously, like I can just be in a bad mood, go train, and then I'm like liberated, and I just feel great leaving. I'm like, whoa, my body's just like tingly. I'm like, I'm good. What was I mad about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can be for anything. Like,
Yeah.
go swim, go play, shoot some hoops. Physical activity, it's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it.
Cheers.
Thank you.